He has a great group of folks that he works with, and I'd like to have all folks people that work with the Department of Education to please stand to be recognized at this point. Another group that's with us this morning that I would like to recognize are the members of the Council, Tennessee Council. As always, the highlight of our program, and frankly the highlight of most programs, is hearing the perspective that our students have, their experiences in career technical education, their accomplishments, and their vision and goals for their life. This morning, we are fortunate to have Ms. Sunshine Coombs, who is, let's see if I get this right, FBLA State President with us to bring some remarks. Sunshine.
Let me tell you how glad I am that this is finally my turn, because I was starting to think that Mr. Mitchell had forwarded my speech to everybody because a lot of it's already been said, but okay. Career technical education is relevant, important, and empowering. It provides a pathway to potential careers for many young adults while helping them to progress in a way that cannot be provided in a typical classroom. Within CTE, the Career and Technical Student Organizations are programs that bring hard work and education together in a positive working environment. Our advisors constantly strive to achieve success for those who could have otherwise lacked the opportunities to develop meaningful and employable characteristics. Of course, there was a time that I didn't know that. I could never have dreamed that my respective CTSO would take me as far as I have come now. After all, I find myself speaking to you here today, and if that isn't a measurement of my success, then I don't know what is. I know that for many people, finding themselves is often a journey, and by the time they enter high school, other people have already developed a perception of who they are before they've even developed a perception of themselves. At the start of my freshman year, I knew who I was, but I also knew who I wanted to be. Little did 14-year-old me know there was a way to get there. I competed in business presentation, where I gave a 7-minute speech accompanied by a PowerPoint about how businesses can overcome the epidemic known as identity theft. To say that I was scared was an understatement, but upon entering the competition room, I greeted the 3 nicest judges that I have ever had. This gave me the confidence to present what I had prepared for months. After all, I hadn't come all the way to Chattanooga to turn back. To my surprise, I placed 4th, and to this day, that is my greatest accomplishment. It was my first experience that gave me an advantage over my peers because I had accomplished something for my college application that most have not. An application that was good enough to get me into West Point's summer leader experience. Competing was not the only experience I gained at my first state conference, though. At the beginning of the conference and for the award session, I was in disbelief. There must have been 2,000 people delegated for these sessions, and you know who was presiding? Not a paid public speaker with 20 years of experience, and not who I have come to know as Gene Buckley, the president CEO of all of FBLA. Sophomore, junior, and senior students were speaking in front of this entire delegation. They were just so poised, and they walked with a confidence of which I had never known. They looked like adults, and they talked like them too. Being a state officer looks like fun, I said to the girl sitting next to me. As the year progressed, I began doing more activities with my chapter. Because of the support I received from my chapter advisors, I gained a way to donate my time and effort to my community's best interests, and I still do so frequently. Since then, I have helped FBLA collect more than 2,000 cans for my community's food bank. I have also been here to Nashville to donate 20 gallons of can tabs to the Ronald McDonald House. FBLA has been an outlet for me to truly serve more than just myself. I ran for the position of Tennessee FBLA Region 3 President my sophomore year. I knew I was a leader. Now, if only I could prove that to the 300 people sitting before me. I looked at the other 2 candidates, I gained my composure, and I delivered a speech good enough to elect me as Region 3 President. I was so ecstatic that I didn't even care that I'd also placed 1st in my public speaking competition. Since you already know that I am standing here as Tennessee FBLA State President, you know that the story only gets better from here. But before I disclose what an amazing experience this has been, I will tell you that running for state president my junior year was the most challenging thing that I've ever done. I took a test, I applied, I went through an interview, I campaigned, and I gave a predominantly impromptu speech to over 2,000 people. I want to elaborate on what I feel is the most important part of the growth and development of being a state officer. It's not becoming a great public speaker, doing community service, competing against others, or building your resume. It's learning to work as a team. It's knowing your team's strengths and their weaknesses, and harnessing those efforts to make a more productive state conference. But ultimately, it's friendship. With the help of your funding, both offices have given me the opportunity to travel as far west as Anaheim, California, where I became a 2-time national competitor, and as far south as Louisiana, where I attended workshops with my officer team. It is amazing how close you become with a complete stranger when you are forced to share a room, uniform, and stage together. I am closer to my state officer team than I am with anyone in my school, and even some of the members of my immediate family. Why? Being a state officer allows for some of the greatest students around the state of Tennessee to come together and utilize their talents in a way that benefits something just a little bit bigger than themselves. It's where leaders thrive and then receive recognition for that hard work. I have competed at HOSA State Conference and have conducted workshops with Skills USA, TSA, DECA, HOSA, FFA, and FCCLA, so I know that the same rings true for their officers. And I know that I have faced challenges with my officer team, just as I have with creating a lasting reputation of myself. As I continue to improve upon my character, I now have a better understanding of who I am. And looking back, I owe every ounce of my success to my respective CTSO. This concludes the story of how I came one step closer to finding sunshine, aka a confident, helpful, and prepared future leader of America.